guys, it's your girl So Fine. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are not, you already know what it is. Let's get into this video. So guys, please excuse my appearance. I look a little rusty and crusty, and I'm in the middle of retwisting my hair, but I was like, you know what, while I'm retwisting my hair, I had some tips I want to share you guys about retwisting. So what better time to tell you guys those retwisting tips while I'm retwisting? It just makes sense, right? So I won't be showing you guys the actual process of me retwisting my hair, like in depth, like zooming in, because I already have a video of me retwisting my hair and I'll link that up right here. But I'm gonna be doing it as I'm saying these tips. So I think I'm gonna have I have a couple. So let's just see what number I get up to as I'm redoing my hair. Okay, so the first tip I want to tell you guys about retwisting your hair is don't sit under the dryer. Like for me, I don't sit under the dryer. I make sure that I wash my hair, put my spray, put my oil. I have my clips, and I just let my hair air dry. I feel like air drying is a lot better because too much heat, too much of that air is drying to your hair. In the summertime it's easiest because, I mean, of course it's warmer and you can just have your hair dry that way. But like I live in New York City. In the winter time it's a little bit harder. I just stay home, like what I'm doing right now. We're in October. Stay home, have my heat on, and this is the day that I'm doing laundry. I'm doing a lot of stuff in the home, so I don't have to go out in the cold. So yeah, I just stay home, use my air, use my heat here. If I really need to and I need to get my hair to dry really quickly, I can use a handheld hair dryer and just blow that really quickly, but don't stay on one spot for too long, just to give some nice air. But otherwise, I just let my hair air dry, and I feel like, once again, the heat from the blow dryer, not the blow dryer, the seated dryer, or like even those ones where you gotta put the blow dryer in and it just wraps around your head, those plastic ones, I don't use those either. Nothing at all, just air dry. I also just never liked it because even when I was relaxed, my pen, even when I was relaxed, sitting under the dryer to dry your hair, or with the rollers, it was just a lot. It was really hot. My ears would always be burning, and it was very time consuming. Like I just really didn't like it at all. So even now that I'm with my locks and I'm natural, I'm like, if I can avoid it, I will altogether, and that's what I do. I do not use any kind of heat in my hair. I just plan for me to just spend the whole day home that day and just let my hair do what it do and dry. Okay, so the next retwist tip I want to give you guys is literally don't, and I say this in all my videos as well, a lot of my hair videos, don't retwist often. I retwist every 8 weeks. This time I think I did 10 weeks. Like, do you guys see this? Like, this is all from one lock. This is my 10 weeks. Put a finger through it. Like, this is all my new growth, and this is what happens when you let your hair grow and you have this hair. No thinning. My edges look a little crazy because it's a little kinky, but this is 10 weeks of growth, and then once I retwist it, it'll be a lot fuller and thicker, and it'll just add on to my 2 locks here. That is the purpose of me not retwisting as often. Like, not retwisting as often really gives you that chance to let your hair be and just let it grow and flourish in the way that it needs to. Because if you're retwisting every month is not bad, but letting your, like, I feel like it should be longer than 4 weeks, honestly. Longer than 4 weeks, and in that way your hair can grow, your hair can get kinky, your hair can mix and mingle. So honestly, yeah, 8 weeks is mine, and if I go a little bit longer, like this time it was 10 weeks, it wasn't too bad. And that is what I did. And I prefer this because this is it. It grows. And I don't use any combs or anything. I don't care for my neat parts. I just retwist the way I need. And that is that. Okay, so the next retwist tip that I have is, as you guys see that I'm doing, I have a spray bottle, has some water and vitamin E oil. Moisturize your hair as you're retwisting. So I take it, spray, dampen it just a little bit, and then I go in with my oil, Haitian castor oil from Caribbean Secrets. I will put my code down below. If you use my code so fine with 3 E's 15, you get 15% off your purchase. And like I said, I'm moisturizing, so I take it, add a little oil here, add a little oil here, and I only put oil in my new growth. My new growth, if I want to bring it down the shaft, I can, but I concentrate it on the new growth. That's really where I'm doing all the manipulation. So make sure my hair is in its place, and then I retwist. Making sure, I know that a lot of people, when they're retwisting, they would most likely just retwist their hair and then they would oil it after. That works too, but I just feel like when you retwist and oil it as you're doing it, well, I use oil as my way to retwist my hair anyway, so I'm using oil regardless. But for those of you who are using gel and everything and you want to use your oil afterwards, I feel like it's best to also add the oil with it, because then your hair is also moisturized. You don't have to go back in. There's sometimes that you can go back in and you miss another one, like you miss a section, you miss a lock. Just retwist and moisturize as you go along. So even if you do one row, you retwist it and then you go back and oil it right before you move on to the next one. That'll also help as well. It speeds up the process and you make sure that your hair is completely saturated with the oil, and it'll be good regardless. And I also feel like once you're finished and you take your clips out or whatever you're doing, that your hair has this nice shine that comes with it. And that's what I really enjoy when it comes to retwisting my hair. Seeing how moisturized and shiny my hair look like. There's a satisfaction that I get out of that. Oh my gosh, I have so much more to do. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so the next thing I would say is don't retwist your hair when it's like super wet. Yes, I just finished washing my hair, but I literally let the towel, I wrapped my hair in a towel for about 15 to 20 minutes before actually starting to retwist my hair, so that my hair isn't so wet and damp. So that's why when I go back and I retwist, I'm able to add a little bit of moisture, but it's not enough, it's like I rewashed my hair again. And the reason why you don't want to let your hair be too damp or too wet when you're retwisting is because you don't want the water to be weighing your hair down. Like, the water weighs your hair down, and it makes it a lot harder to dry, because mold is real. It's gonna take forever to dry, and like I said, I air dry, so any way that I can fasten up the drying process, I will do. So I'll use a little bit, I'll sit with my towel, and then when I need to moisten it a little bit, which is what I do with my spray, just enough so I can manipulate it and it's not completely dry and brittle, and that is what I do. So I just add my little water with vitamin E oil in it, dampen it just a little bit, add my castor oil, and I was able to manipulate it and make it stick. That's like my gel, literally. Okay, so the next tip would be, you don't have to use gel. I use oil, and I'll say it again, I use Haitian castor oil, and the oil lasts the same amount as someone who uses gel in their hair. Like I say, I retwist my hair every 2 months. 2 months. And I just use oil. So that's just to show, gel does nothing but add product build up into your hair. Literally. Adds nothing. Okay, next is, you don't always have to retwist your hair in a style. I love a 2-strand twist retwist. I would wash my hair, retwist my hair, and do a 2-strand twist, so that I'm already in the style, and once I'm ready, I can just take it out, and it makes my retwist last a lot longer. But I realize I'm not going to do that as often, because it's still a style. It still adds additional tension to my hair when I retwist my hair, and it can still lead to thinning in the lock. So I just don't do it as often. I'm going to do it every once in a while, but as for me doing it over and over and over every retwist, it's not feasible. I don't think it's beneficial in any way. Okay, so I decided to finish off the rest of my hair off camera, and this is what it looks like with all my clips. I know, it's a lot, but I decided to come in here to tell you guys the last one without doing any hair, and that is to simply do your hair yourself. learn how to retwist your hair by yourself. I have another video showing how I retwist my hair. You guys can watch that, and I give an in-depth, I'm zoomed in to see how I'm moving, how I'm maneuvering my hands. You can check that out. And the main reason why I say you should learn how to retwist your hair is because you can be more self-sufficient. You don't have to rely on someone on doing your hair for you, paying the money, save your coins. And the fact that when you say, okay, I want to get my hair done, her homegirl is not going to text you, be like, oh, I'm sorry, babe, I'm sorry, love, I'm going to have to cancel, or can we reschedule? Like, literally, you can just be like, all right, bet, I don't need you. Let me do my hair myself. Let me get my deposit back, and this is that. Like, just take the time. It's not difficult. It may be a little learning curve for some. It really didn't. It wasn't hard for me when I started. It's literally the twisting motion. Depending on your length, you can also do the palm roll. But literally just finding the direction that your lock is going to and just following that. I always twisted to the right. So just twisting your hair to the right, and if your hair is twisted to the left, twist it to the left. I'm not sure if when you're doing a retwist, if it matters, like if you're supposed to stay on that one side. I personally stay on going to the right. I always retwist to the right. I don't let anyone, like when I did have someone retwist my hair, I made sure they twisted to the right and not to the left. But otherwise, that is it. Just making sure that you learn how to do it yourself. You're self-sufficient, save your money, you don't gotta worry about anybody, and you just take the time to love and take care of your hair. Like, self-care can be yourself as well. You can do it as well. I'm gonna come back and show you guys what my hair looked like after my pins are out and my hair is completely dried. So stay tuned for that. So this is the end result. I removed all of my pins. See how full the bottom of my hair look? Let's look at the back. Completely dried, and we are here. My roots are just a little bit curly from the pins, but it's fine. After a couple of days, it'll straighten out and it gets itself situated.